E.N.D here. Finally, we have the first cards spoiled for War of the Spark. War of the Spark, the set that will be released in April 27-28, the set that will focus on Planeswalkers, the set that will have 36 Planeswalkers. Apart from the cards spoiled that I'm going to show you in this video, we have also, and Wizards of the Coast have released a War of the Spark trailer. I have seen this trailer hundreds and hundreds of times, and every time I see this trailer, it gives me goosebumps. I urge you to see this trailer if you haven't seen it, and at the end of this video, here, there will be a link for my video regarding the breakdown of the trailer. I have breakdown the video act by act, scene by scene, and gave some insight what is happening in the background of the War of the Spark trailer. But this is not a video about War of the Spark trailer, this is a video about the spoiled cards. The first card spoiled for War of the Spark, this was spoiled or leaked on Friday. This card, Ajani's Pridemate, it's a reprint, last seen Ajani's Pridemate in M19. This is a very strong card and part of the mono aggro white. We have also the 5 basic lands spoiled for War of the Spark. Every land there is a scene of Ravnica in turmoil, Ravnica destroyed, Ravnica in ruins. And in every land there is a spark. There is a spark of a Planeswalker dying in the War of the Spark. We have this swamp, the mountain, and also the forest. The first card I'm going to show you is Vraska Finisher, a 3/2 creature. When Vraska Finishers enter the battlefield, destroy target creature or Planeswalker an opponent controls that was dealt damage in that turn. This goes hand in hand with the Spectacle mechanic from Ravnica and Legions. Herald of the Dreadhorde, another 3/2 zombie warrior. When it dies, you have to amass 2. Amass is the new mechanic for War of the Spark. I'm going to do a video, a tutorial, I'm going to publish it tomorrow, regarding how to play Amass. Amass says, put a 2, in this case because it's Amass 2, put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. If you don't control one, you have to create a 0/0 zombie army creature token and you put the counters on that creature. This is the new, as I said, the new mechanic for War of the Spark. It's quite a nice mechanic. The next card is Arlen Wolf. Every card, every creature, every spell in War of the Spark is related to a Planeswalker. In this case, we have the Wolf of Arlen, a 3/2 creature that can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Obnixless Cruelty. As I said, every spell in War of the Spark is rated to a Planeswalker, in this case with Obnixless. Target creature get -5/-5 until end of turn. If it dies, you have to exile it. Relentless Advance, Amass 3. As I said, Amass 3, you put 3 +1/+1 counter on an army you control. If you don't control one, you create your army. And you put the +1/+1 counters on it. Flux Channeler, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Proliferate. Proliferate is another mechanic. This was brought from an old set. What Proliferate does, choose any number of permanents and players then give each other counter of each kind already there. This goes very good with Planeswalker and also with the Adept mechanic for this image from Ravnica and Legions. I also will do a tutorial for Proliferate, so stay tuned to this channel for that tutorial. No Escape, counter target creature or Planeswalker spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting into the graveyard. Scry 1. Interperennial Beacon. Whenever you cast a Planeswalker, this is a land, whenever you cast a Planeswalker, you gain 1 life. Tap for 1 colorless, add 2 mana of different colors spend this mana only to cast Planeswalker spell. This is a very good and very strong land, especially in Commander, where you have Planeswalkers commanders. Emergency Zone, another land, you add 1 colorless, 1 tap, you sacrifice the card, you may cast spell this turn as though they had flesh. Invade the city, amass X, where X is the number of instant sources cards in your graveyard. As I said, amass, if you amass 5, you put 5+1/+1 counters on an army. If you don't have an army, you create a zombie army creature and you put the +1/+1 counters on it. Tybalt Rager, a creature, 1/2 creature, when it dies it deals 1 damage to any target. 1 colorless, 1 red, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. A creature, a card rated to Tybalt, Paradise Druid, this will be an FNM promo, but the card will be in War of the Spark. A 2/1 green creature, it has hexproof if it's untapped and will give 1 mana of any color. This is already an elf card that will be quite good and strong from War of the Spark. Bolas Citadel, this is an artifact, a legendary artifact. I think it's the first time that a legendary artifact has a color related to it. This has 3 colorless and 2 swamps. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Tap, you sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, each opponent loses 10 life. It's quite a strong artifact, especially the first ability. Ignite the Beacon, search your library for up, this is a tutor, search up your library for up to 2 Planeswalker cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Dreadhorde Invasion, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and you amass 1. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. Ravnica at War, exile all multicolored permanents. This is a removal spell. It is quite strong, especially in a multicolor environment. Widespread Brutality, amass 2, then the army or amassed deals damage equal to its power to each non-army creature. This is also another removal spell. It is quite strong removal spell, and I think it will see play in Standard. The first Planeswalker, now I'm going to list the Planeswalkers that have been spoiled. The first Planeswalker, and this confirms my prediction that we will see Planeswalkers at the uncommon slot. Each Planeswalker has a fixed ability. This is the first time that we see this in Magic the Gathering. Has a fixed ability. In case of this Obnixilis, whenever an opponent draw a card, Obnixilis deals 1 damage to that player. This ability is static. It will remain there until the card is still in play. It comes in play with 5 and it has only a -2. Destroy target creature, its controllers draw 2 cards. So therefore you can repeat this spell for Obnixilis 2 times unless you find a way to put more counters, as I said, from that blue creature, to put more counters on the card. All Planeswalkers at uncommon have, at least for the spoiled cards, have a minus ability only. The rare and the mythic have the plus ability also. The next card is also an uncommon, Arlen, Voice of the Pack. Each creature controlled that's a wolf or werewolf enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counters on it. -2, create a green wolf creature token. Therefore, if you create a green creature wolf, it comes in play with a +1/+1 counter. Vraska, Swarm Eminence, this is also an uncommon. It has also a static ability. Whenever creatures you control with that touch deals damage to a player or Planeswalker, put +1/+1 counter on it, that creature. Create a 1/1 Black Assassin creature token with that touch, and whenever this creature deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. This is that touch to a planeswalker. Now we will have that touch that can instantly kill planeswalkers. Still, as I said, has only the -2 ability and can use this ability only until you find a way to put more counters on the planeswalker. We have a T-Bolt. Finally, we have a T-Bolt that it seems more playable than its predecessor. This comes for 3 mana with a 5 loyalty counters. Your opponent can gain life, and for a -2 you create a 1/1 devil creature. Whenever this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. I think it's much more stronger than the previous T-Bolt. Ajani, the Great-Hearted. This is the first rare card, rare planeswalker. Creatures you control have vigilance. This is a very strong static ability. For a +1 you gain 3 life. For a -2 you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and the loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control. Jace, Wilder of Mysteries. If you draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Target player puts the top card of their library into the graveyard, draw a card, and the -8 draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards, you win the game. It is another alternative win for Magic the Gathering. Tezzeret, this is a buy a box card. It is a very strong mythic card. For 5 loyalty, creatures and planeswalker spells you cast have affinity for artifact. Then it has a +2. These X damage to each opponent, where X the number of artifacts you control, you gain X life. The -3, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. The -8, exile the top 10 cards of your library, put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield. Last but not least, this is the most important card, Liliana Dreadhorde Jellin. It is a mythic. Whenever creature you control dies, you draw a card. The +1 counter create a 2/2 black zombie creature. The -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures, very strong. The -9, each player chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifice the rest. This is, I believe, for the moment, the best and strongest planeswalker cards in the Spoiled of War of the Spark. And stay tuned to this channel. Here there will be the subscribe button for more spoilers about War of the Spark, for more information and videos regarding this fabulous set for Magic the Gathering.